And we are live.
Hello everyone on YouTube.
Yes.
We're doing some anime drawing tips, and we're gonna create more OCs based on this character here.
Lorraine.
Yeah.
You want to write her name maybe?
Oh, that's right, I should write her name. Wait, I need to put on her layer. Lorraine. We'll probably go over more of her lore later throughout the stream.
Yeah.
Chuki joined.
Hello everybody.
Kaylee.
Manga. Chuki. Hello.
Chuki. Kaylee, I remember you from the
Kaylee.
call earlier.
Oh, I need to announce to the Discord server that we are live.
Yes.
All the way up.
Maybe I'll draw a little bit of Lorraine to warm up a bit. Graveyard Princess. Hello, everyone who's joining. Oh, thank you, Chuki, for liking the live. Bye. This is just a plain face right now. I gotta draw a face.
Yes. So
cool.
How's everyone doing today? The music's kind of loud, right?
It's okay for me.
You can't hear the music, right? Music does not show up on stream. Hi, Christina's grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Doing good. Hi,
Cravings.
Cravings. Hi, Everyday. Hey, VO. Danny Draws. Haunt. Welcome.
Hey, Haunt. I'm drawing a bit of Lorraine just to warm up a little bit, and also just to kind of chat a bit before we get into the nitty gritty.
Good to see you
here. Hey, Toby! Wait, is it the same? Oh,
Yep.
It's the same display name. Nice. Toby's a student of Colton's, former student.
Rusty. Welcome. Kawaii Leah. Welcome.
Hey. What if
Yo.
I'm nervous today?
You already warmed up, right?
I know I did warm up, so my line's looking pretty good. I still feel, yeah, my lines are lining today, so far. Until I draw hands, and maybe that won't happen. But I think I'm doing pretty good.
Mata, welcome.
Hey, Mata.
Green Hoodie, hello.
Hey.
Kawaii Leah, hello.
Okay, there's a crown.
Anything fun going on this week? School starting up, college. Who's going to be starting college this year in here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
On a short break before I go back to work.
Ooh,
Glad
nice.
you decided to spend your break with us.
Yeah.
Fish00, welcome.
Hey, Fish00, or just Fish.
So we're doing some lessons today to start.
Mm-hmm.
And Christina's just drawing Lorraine right now really quick.
Yeah, to kind of, we can, let me actually write down topics.
You already know, college in a week or two. Yep.
Nice.
Congrats, Art Center. That's gonna be fun. Entertainment design. Starting junior year. VO is as well.
Hey.
Starting my second year in college in 2 weeks from now. Nice. Yeah, we got a lot of college students and high school students in our community. So, for those who don't know,
Yep.
this is Lorraine. She's a character that we created with the community a long time ago when we very first started streaming back in like June.
Yeah, that's right.
And so her
We were
outfit,
playing Animal Crossing at the time.
yeah, Animal Crossing. Her outfit was based off of like a Victorian nightgown and also butterfly wings.
Yes.
And she is a royal bloodline princess that there was like a big war that was going on, and the royal family got poisoned, and she was having a tea party, and she was an unfortunate casualty, and now she haunts the mass grave of a bunch of dead
Of that time period.
Of that time period. That's kind of all the lore we have for her so far.
Hey, Ray.
She's got these blue butterflies, and that's kind of her design language, is kind of like zombie, butterfly, Victorian era.
Yeah.
I thought it would actually be kind of appropriate for this week's challenge, 1800s.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I'm kind of just drawing her right now.
So yeah, she looks adorable. Still
Thank
working on my
you.
weekly challenge, and I don't
Nice.
know if I'll get it done by the finish line.
It's okay.
You can post what you have by the end.
Some people are like, oh,
Hi,
that's all I
Ray.
have.
Fish, welcome. Hunt. Super Novs, hello. How old is she? I think it may be 12.
She's probably 12 or 13.
12 or
like,
13?
Like not chronologically, like body wise.
When she died.
When she died. She kind of does look like a 12-year-old.
She looks so cute.
Keyboard mash.
Keyboard mash. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for the finger hearts.
Wow, thank you.
Every day. And
all
thank you for 120 roses.
My goodness, you're so generous. All right, so maybe we could bring up some questions or topics that y'all want to cover today. If you want a Colton stream,
no.
Yell out.
If y'all want a Colton stream, everybody repeat, no.
Oh, thank you, Kaylee.
Good evening, Jessica. Danny Draws 2.0.
I like that she has striped hair.
No more boxes, please.
So maybe we'll cover maybe.
That's good. I don't want y'all drawing boxes because then you'll get better than me. Stay bad. No, I'm
do
kidding.
4 topics. Stay bad? How dare you? That you're implying that.
Stay bad at boxes.
Stay bad at boxes.
No, I love everyone's drawings here.
So if you see any interesting things, yell them out, Colton.
See any interesting things?
Any interesting topics.
Shape language, someone says.
Ooh, shape language? That's actually
We could talk a little bit about shape language. Maybe as it has to do with characters. Dana.
Oh, Dana. Oh, Dana?
Is that Dana?
I think it is. That's how you pronounce it, Dana.
I remember you told us how to say your name a different stream.
Or Dinah.
Yup.
When creating OCs, what's your process in making them? Well, we'll be discussing that later in the stream.
Yeah, maybe just write that down. OC creation process?
Yeah.
Generally, there's a number of different processes you can use.
Yeah.
You could start with their personality and move from there. You could start with a shape and then add personality later.
Mm-hmm. So start with ideas. Actually, that would be really cool to actually do.
Live goal achieved.
Wow.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you, Everyday. Wow, just single-handedly. Solo, he was like a...
Everybody
manhandled it.
Give Everyday a thanks in the chat. Single-handedly annihilated the live goal.
One-man army. I gotta draw in her little crown real quick.
How to make character fit in a background or in general, because cute backgrounds so it isn't blank.
Okay. That'll be your little topic. So putting character...
BGE.
Characters and BGs. Characters and backgrounds. Okay. Maybe we'll do one more.
I got 125 more.
Oh, thank you. Make sure you have some for yourself, okay? How to pick colors for OCs or drawing hair. Ooh, drawing hair is good too.
Picking colors, yeah, we appreciate it.
What do you think, Colton? Should we do 5 instead? Or 4? Skirts are hard to draw. I do like hair.
Why don't you cover skirts?
Skirts?
Something fun.
Okay, skirts.
Skirts are like...
Skirts are fun.
Skirts are cones where the bottom is flexible.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll do this for now. Someone said, Fish said do 5. Hair is awesome. Should I do hair, Colton?
125 more roses. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Every day, are you on our Discord server too? What's your username on Discord? Is it the same? Are you a regular on Discord? OC relationship dynamics, drawing different clothes. Lizzie, welcome.
Let's see. Let me think. So, I think the amount of topics here is pretty good. I think it's good for now because I do kind of sometimes ramble a bit and I want to have time to do other stuff. So we're also going to be doing OC creation anyways later today. So we'll probably cover color palettes and stuff and kind of a mix of things. So yeah, let's just get started then.
I'm on the Discord. My name on there is Cat. It is Cat with a period.
Oh, okay. Hey, Kayla.
Kayla, welcome.
All right. Should we do shape language, Colton? Yeah, this is on the wrong layer.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to cut and put this on a separate layer.
Maybe I should close these blinds just a little bit.
Yeah, having a little bit of a glare for me.
Kind of bright.
Yeah.
I want to point them up. Point them up. That's better.
So shape language is kind of all about psychology, especially for character design. Should we just go through like the basics of circle, square, triangle?
I would start even broader
Okay,
with
go
like
ahead.
art. This is gonna get a little bit technical. No.
Okay.
So you got eyeballs, right?
Got
Here's
it.
an eyeball. Here's an eyeball, and you see things, right? Back here in your brain.
Hey,
there
Pismo.
we go. Your eyes take in, say, I don't know, an image of someone, of two people, say, let's actually do like the whole people standing together like this. That's a little bit high. But anyways, your eyes take in this image and it converts it for your brain. And now your brain, it like converts it into a two-dimensional image, basically. Like this. So what ends up happening is it becomes really, really important for an artist to think about the two-dimensional shapes that they use in their artwork, because it makes it very easy, right? If you do this, your brain is happy. If you don't do this, the brain is not happy, or it has a harder time understanding that. So shape language is really important because it's kind of the most primitive way that the brain understands information. So usually when learning design, you want to start off, D-E-S-I-G-N, you want to start off with the most primitive shapes, which is like square, circle, and triangle. And because what you can start doing is really recognizable characters will have...
Hey, Slay. Hey, Zyron.
Really recognizable characters, if you start building them with these very simple shapes in the beginning,
Oh, that's cute.
they'll end up being much more interesting if you use very easy to understand shapes. So that's kind of my little...
I like that.
That's kind of my little thing. Because remember, art is a visual medium. And visual mediums have to do with shapes. Because it's not 3D. It's flat.
So someone actually asked, like, oh, wait, are we humans like 2D or 3D? I don't know if that makes sense.
The way you perceive it is 2D. Like, your brain exists in this dark cave called your skull, and the only way information gets to it is through your 5 senses. Like, it's a little bit, like, psychology heavy, but that's honestly what you have to think about when thinking about design, because design is meant to be perceived by people.
Yeah.
Like, you don't... Like, if your art isn't being looked at and interpreted, like, that's kind of the intention of the art, is to be looked at and interpreted by others.
Yeah.
So it's important to understand how people interpret things. So having said that, Christina's going to go into the basic shape, square, circle, triangle.
Yeah. So this is like extremely basic in terms of like how a lot of artists would perceive these shapes. So like the square shape, sorry, this kind of smells in it. Sorry about that. So for a square shape, if you have like a more square shaped character, they're typically going to look a lot more stronger and sturdier. Like think of like a dwarf or a giant or like a golem that has a lot of like square-ish shapes. It's just very, like you can't really knock it down. So the reason is because everything's very even on all sides, so it's not like going to tip over or anything.
Yeah. This goes into like static as well. And this goes into dynamic.
Yeah.
Oh, you wrote dynamic.
Yeah, I did
so
write
dynamic, static.
Circle-shaped characters, think of like, mothers, or think of like cute characters like Kirby or even Pokemon. A lot of them will have a lot of circles in their design, and that usually makes them feel a lot friendlier and softer and more motherly, depending on the character. Like a lot of pear-shaped people, just kind of look very like Mother Nature. They look very sweet and friendly, even have a little circle head just to hit it home. Let me see, like, Jerry from Tom and Jerry the mouse, like, full of round shapes, but he's, like, very mischievous at the same time. Mickey Mouse as well, very friendly. So most of the time you'll see not a lot of like hard curves, or sorry, not hard curves, hard edges. You'll see a lot of curves instead in their body language.
Have a good one every day. Thanks
Bye
for the roses and stuff.
Yeah. So triangles, on the other hand. So actually, let me just do like a few examples. So like if you're gonna draw a robot that has like a lot of blocky shapes, it looks very inorganic. So that's another thing that you can do for square shapes, is make something that feels very mechanical as well. But organic things can also look mechanical, it's just a little bit more difficult. So a robot's really, fun to do for square body types. You got, a golem.
Yeah, think of Iron Golem on Minecraft, right?
Oh,
think
yeah.
of Roblox characters.
Yeah,
That's
think
why
of
they
Roblox
look so
characters.
ugly. I love Roblox.
I like Roblox characters.
Characters are
too.
ugly.
Yeah. But like even with a body type like this, it's very squarish overall. So unfortunately I can't draw the legs since it's way too short, but yeah, you get the point. Some people make the legs really, really stocky, like they just make them like pure like blocks, like this.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So you can do like a lot of stuff with these shapes. But anyways, oh sorry, I shouldn't have undone that.
Okay. Maybe take that and move it.
Okay.
So yeah, square, strong, sturdy, not easily knocked over. Circle is soft, friendly.
Yep.
And triangle is active, dynamic, dangerous.
So
do you want to talk about maybe a little bit of like dynamic versus static shapes and why?
Okay. Let me think.
Okay, so I'll talk about it really quick. So you'll notice something with both the circle and the square. So there's a thing called static and dynamic. So if you go to like a design college, you'll probably learn this. If you go to like an animation college, you'll learn this stuff. Static, there are things that are static. Symmetry is static. Straight, like perfectly vertical and perfectly horizontal is static. So like this is static, that's static. Things that are symmetrical on both sides are also static. So a circle actually is quite static. And this poses a problem because if you want to draw a figure that's very dynamic,
you have to use a lot of half circles.
Yes. So circles can be broken apart into half circles, and they can be moved to create a flow. And now if you've ever seen this diagram before, you may know what we're getting at. This is gesture. This creates gesture, which is where things flow well from one shape to another.
Hey, Chocolate.
So this is like the meat of shape language. If you want to learn shape language, this is it. This is the meat of it.
Applicable for OC creation as well.
Yes. So down here is when things start to become dynamic. So the reason that triangles are dynamic is because they have lines that are not perfectly horizontal and not perfectly vertical. And if I start creating a triangle where one side is longer and one side is short and one side is, say, maybe not quite as long as the longest side, what happens is angle A, B, and C, I promise I'm not getting into math, are all different. Like these lines are not, like none of these lines are parallel to each other. So if you want to make something that's very dynamic, make lines and curves that are not parallel to each other. Like this.
Yes.
And that's how you can create more dynamic and less static things. Because dynamic things have a lot of energy to them.
Yeah, like if you look at like even crystal formations, they're very dynamic, even though they were made geometrically. But they're all not very even.
Yes.
So that's really cool. I think a lot of the time people might be confused with like how to make dynamic curves.
Yeah, you want me to talk about that?
Yeah, sure, you can talk about it.
So, how to make a dynamic curve, right? We just learned that symmetry is not dynamic. So if I want to make a curve, and I find the halfway point, and I do this, this is not a very dynamic curve, because the apex is in the middle, 50, 50. So what I can do is I can make a curve, and I can push the apex and go like this. And now that is a much more dynamic curve. This is actually called an accelerated curve. Accelerated curve. And it's basically when there's an acceleration to it where it starts off looser and it gets tighter as it wraps around.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this will be posted on the Discord and also in the VOD channel.
So this sheet will be posted in the Discord, and this video will be posted on our YouTube VOD channel.
Well, you'll even notice that this is really applicable to bodies, because if you were to draw like a cartoon body or whatever, you'll notice that even the curves of the body are very dynamic.
Oh, that's a great question, Fish. When should you use static curves? When you want something to feel stable, when you don't want it to feel active. So, for example, what I could do is I could add a doorway behind this character, and it could really stabilize the shot. So that would get into like backgrounds and stuff, right? So if I added a doorway behind this character, I could make all of the sides static and vertical and horizontal. And you can have a dynamic character in front of a static door to hold this piece together. That gets into like composition and stuff. But that's a really, really good question. Because a lot of the time I'll just keep this. You'll hear people talk about static as if it's a bad thing. And it's actually not a bad thing. You just want to make sure you design with intention.
Mm-hmm. Colton is locked into teaching, Shannon says. He is.
So that would be a really good case. And then what you can do is you can have this character's head break out of the door frame a little bit to create a little bit of overlap and parallax, like what I did with the feet right here.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates overlap, which starts to create depth. But we're not going to talk about that in this lesson because this is more of a shape language lesson.
Yeah.
Not a composition depth lesson.
But you'll see, like, even in this body, I was kind of talking about the curves. We have a very, like, long curve here that's not super crazy dynamic. But then these other curves right here are shorter and also create a different length to it.
Yes. And then you're probably very familiar with hearing about the bean method, and that's just, it's design. It's a principle of design. You've got this long curve here, you've got the pinch on the other side, bend and stretch, the bean method, the pillow method, whatever you want to call it. It's just a principle of design where you've got these kind of opposing shapes.
Yeah.
If you learn it from someone like Will Weston, he'll call it simple and complex.
We haven't done the OC yet, Shannon. We're doing some Q&A first.
Simple plus complex. And then when it's broken down in simple and complex, it can be applied to a lot more things like environments and pretty much everything. Clouds, environments.
Yeah. Someone asked, like, oh, how do you draw, like, more stability in, like, a body? Well, that goes into, like, pose design.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, if you combine curved and straight lines together, that creates a certain kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, a lot of time in animation, to keep things very simple, they would have a straight line. Like, let's say they're drawing a leg. Straight line in the front, curved lines in the back.
Yep.
To show the leg, the detail of the leg.
Yep. Or, a lot of the time, they'll go straight, curved, straight, curved.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep. Depending on, like, if this is like a quad, even like a like a quadricep muscle, but either way, you can apply those. You can do that for poses. So, like, for instance, you can have a very curved gesture, but the legs is what's planting the pose and making it stable.
Yeah.
So, like, combining curve, straight, straight, maybe curved, right? And maybe the neck can be kind of slightly curved. So applying
those two straights at the bottom will create a lot of stability in the pose. Mm-hmm. And like the wider that you put the legs, like the more stable it'll probably feel.
Yeah.
As well. So if I put the leg out a little bit more, it just feels a little bit more stable.
Wider stance. Yeah.
So this is all under the umbrella of shape design. Mm-hmm. A lot of different designs will overlap and be applicable. But if you want to learn more about this, they teach a lot of this kind of stuff in animation.
Yeah.
This is very, like, typical of what you learn in an animation class, like someone who's high level teaching animation and, like, dynamic characters and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you want to learn more, go take some animation classes. It's very good for 2D artists as well.
Yeah. All right, so we cover... Is that good enough for shape language, or should we move on?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, that could be cool. Does that all make sense, everybody?
I learned very differently, and I'm worried your classes won't work for me.
That's fine.
That's okay.
I don't know how you learn, but it's pretty typical of what you'd find in like a college or class setting. So if you find another class out there, it's pretty much going to be taught the same way.
Yeah. Hey, Yugia. I would say the benefit of a self-paced class is that if you do have a different style of teaching, you can basically like cater it to your own needs. So stuff like that. OC creation process, putting characters into backgrounds. Maybe we can move on to that, putting characters into backgrounds.
Yeah. So actually, that kind of goes into what I was saying earlier. Do you want to actually take this out?
Sure. I think we should switch seats at this point, because I feel like this one's a little bit...
I'm fine.
I just don't want you drawing at an awkward angle. So we'll take it over here.
So here's a character on a background. This is basically as simple as it gets.
I'm using a 5,000 by 6,000 pixel canvas, Kayla.
Yes. Your canvas size doesn't matter that much, just as long as you don't see pixelation in your lines. Make it as big as you're comfortable, as your iPad or computer is comfortable handling. So right now, this is a character with a background. That's it. The way to create depth in backgrounds is to use overlaps.
Pixels, Cherry.
So this is depth, and this is graphical.
It's flat versus...
Or flat 3D. This is because that when you're drawing in perspective and things are coming towards you, so let's say that you just draw this, I don't know, really quick grid here on the ground, like this. When I'm drawing objects on the ground, you'll notice that these overlaps are happening. Right? You'll get this kind of stair-stepping look right here.
And he's using the grid as his guide.
See?
When he does this.
You get this kind of stair-stepping. So if I want to turn these into things, I could turn that into a house. I could turn this into a tree. I could turn this into even a character if I want.
Oh, good to see you again, Pumpkin. I was
like
wondering
that.
about you.
So this is the way that you can think about environments, and then you can change the sizes of each of these things. So if you want to draw a character in a background, I would say first and most importantly, by far, is ask yourself the question, what am I trying to say? What do you want to say with this piece? Right? What am I trying to say? Is there somebody looking over a cliff and you're trying to show how deep the ravine is? Is there someone who's about to punch someone else and they're in front of a forest in the background? Like, what is the story that you're trying to say? Because I see so many people. Actually, I had a question in the Discord server, even just yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
And they were asking for a critique on an environment. And I never gave a critique because I was busy. But that would be the first question that I would ask is like, what are you trying to say with the piece? Like, where is the focal point? Focal point, right? This is your area of focus. This is where you want people to look. So that's the number one thing, because you can draw a beautiful landscape. Like, you can go out and take a picture of a landscape and it would look, and the picture wouldn't be very interesting or good because it's like, well, what was the photographer trying to say?
Yeah.
So you use all these different tools like depth and shape language and everything to really give yourself, what am I trying to say, right? So again, we could take this piece right here, and this person could be at someone else's house, right? And there's a little, I don't know, light above them.
That's cute.
And
they're knocking on the door.
They're knocking on the door and they want in, and so I'm going to create this sort of flat background here.
Well, I think another important thing is about scale, which is a lot of people don't really know about either.
Right? They're knocking on the door and they want inside, and maybe they're just like, ugh, where are they? Like, where is this person at? They said they'd be home, but they're not. And then you could, have the arm coming down here. Like, what the heck?
I said I'd be here and they're not here.
Yeah. And maybe they're like angry. Like, ugh, I just drove 2 hours to get here. I spent so much gas money. Who's had that happen to them before? And so, like, what's the story that you're trying to say? And maybe there's another window over here. And the person's like, who's outside? And you could create this little story between these two characters. So it's not that backgrounds are hard to draw. It's that a lot of the time people don't even know what they're trying to say. Like, what are you trying to draw? What are you trying to say?
Yeah. I think, like, understanding as well, like, well, there's more things about... I did mention something about scale. Like, how tall... If you're going to put someone in a room, how tall is, like, a cabinet next to them? Let me draw a little bit bigger.
I got you, sheep.
Like, if you're drawing a person... And this also applies to backgrounds as well. Or just not just backgrounds but drawing environments, is you use this person to determine like how high or how tall something is. Like a table, if I stand up like from this table right here, it's probably going to go up to my thighs. That's probably how big the table is. And a lot of time when you are trying to draw an environment, a lot of people get this scale wrong.
Yeah.
They'll draw a character in a canvas and then the table will be up here. Like, even when they're standing. So, when in reality, it should probably be about down here. But this also depends on, like, what your illustration's about. And a lot of time, even in simple illustrations, where it's just mostly character-focused, like, let's say I have, like, a character that's, is a girl, and her hair's blowing in the wind, and she's in a park. And you're looking up at her. Like, you're kind of like sitting down and she comes over you. She's like, hey, it's like a first date. Oh, go ahead.
You want to see what everybody does in this situation?
Yeah, go ahead. They don't get the perspective right. Yeah.
And maybe there's like a tree.
Yeah. But it's like, it looks awkward.
It looks awkward because, like, you're looking at the fence from a side view, but you're looking at the girl from, like, below her.
Yeah, so what you need to do is you kind of need to draw, like, a little diagram. Like, okay, this is you, or this is the viewer. This is the girl, and she's, standing here. And so when you're looking up at her, you'll probably see some other things that are behind her, but it's more graphical. So, like, for instance, if you're going to draw trees behind her, you're most likely going to see the sky and a little bit of the trees, probably blowing in the wind. But it'll most likely just be kind of flat.
Yeah.
Because it's a mostly character focused illustration. So, like, this will feel correct, more correct than adding a straight fence in the wrong perspective. If you want to add, like, a fence, you might need to tilt the character a little bit, or tilt the fence a bit. But I think just leaving it like this is fine.
Yeah. So, again, if you have a fence in the background, a lot of the time it looks bad, is because you're creating a second edge to your canvas as well.
Yeah.
So if there's a fence right here, the image is starting to become like this, and all this down here becomes useless. So what a lot of people will do is they tilt the horizon a little bit, and they do this, maybe not that much, maybe like this, and that becomes more of a graphical shape.
And that, triangle shape makes it more dynamic.
And it becomes much, much prettier.
Awesome, so, Pumpkin.
So tilting the horizon will turn something from, like we were saying earlier, it will turn it from a static to a dynamic, because now the line is at an angle and it becomes a triangle.
Fish asks, unrelated maybe, but what types of books cover perspective?
There's not very many good perspective books that cover, like, figure composition that I found. There's a couple. I can bring some. You can go on with your stuff.
Oh, sure. So, like, then, going back to scale again, how tall is a chair compared to someone else? Like, if I stand up, on this chair that I'm sitting on right now, it'll probably be like over here. It'll probably be about this big. And I'm also using the table as another reference point. So like it all is related to each other. So it's not just the table, it's not just the chair. It's how big is a table, how big is a chair compared to the person and the table. And then everything will start looking a little bit more correct later on.
So,
hey Alexia.
There's a couple of books. These ones are more perspective books. You've got Scott Robertson's How to Draw Objects and Environments from Your Imagination. This one covers hardcore perspective
that's very nice.
stuff. Explosion views. It talks a lot about cameras. Again, if you guys don't like math, you're not going to like this book. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, no.
See? But if you want to become a professional artist, a lot of this stuff is important to at least cover and go over to know how it works. So it talks about the picture plane, the cone of vision, 60 degree, 90 degree cones of vision, fields of view. It talks a lot about picture planes and how to find it, all that kind of stuff, camera, lenses, angles, and then it goes into stuff like curvilinear perspective, wide angle lenses, drawing environments, setting up like 1-point perspective scenes, doing environment, stuff like this. It's a really good book. It's been around for a long time. It's kind of a go-to for a lot of
It's like the perspective book.
Yeah, it's like
hardcore.
It's like the perspective book. See, talking about different lenses.
Oh, that's cool.
How to put tires in perspective for drawing vehicles and stuff.
I remember that assignment.
Lots of sketches, stuff like that. So that's this book. It's very technical. Y'all are gonna hate it. But if you want to become a professional artist,
Autumn Hart likes math.
Yeah, I teach a lot of this stuff in anime art school as well.
But he teaches it in a more digestible way.
I teach it in a very digestible way. This one also is more perspective focused as well. Sketching the basics. It's basically a product design book. It talks a lot about really practical sketching with drawing out different objects, environments, stuff like that. So
clean.
Talks about cylinders, cones, boxes, how to draw different things. Like I said, it's a product design book, but this is all the same perspective. Like, perspective is perspective.
Bye, Shannon.
All right, bye-bye, Shannon. So this is another really good book on perspective. I think it also might talk a little bit like rendering and stuff.
Guess he's back.
Like this.
Ooh.
I don't really have much light on these, do I?
Ooh, that's much better.
So this is all perspective stuff as well. So that's sketching the basics. And then these ones you'll probably be a little bit more interested in, which are the framed ink books. These ones aren't on perspective. Actually, this guy has perspective books as well. So this is the classic framed ink legendary book, very well known. You can pretty much find it in a lot of bookstores. You can find it in school libraries, stuff like that a lot of the time. But this is a book on composition, and he talks a little bit about perspective, but like I said, it's mostly design stuff. Like, when you know the basics of perspective, you have a lot more flexibility with how you show images and what you want to show with design.
Oh, that's
so
gorgeous.
Right, showing different things, different camera lenses. You're right. Like, he breaks down the basic compositions of these shots.
Cool shapes
and talks a lot about that. This is a really good book. But as always, having a book doesn't make you good at something. Learning the thing and doing exercises and practicing a lot does. So you can own all the books in the world, but it'll never make you good unless you actually practice.
Yeah, I really like that composition right
this
here.
One, that's
I like
a nice
how
composition.
simple that is, and just really nice.
So there's a lot of simple and complex going on here. Like, for example, this is all simple in here, and then the edge is a complex. And then there's simple right here, and then there's complexity.
Well, I think a lot of time when people draw characters and try to put them in a background, they're not really thinking about... They think that the background has to be super complicated.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
He talks a little bit about, like, shape design and stuff, too.
Very nice. Look at that. It's very good.
Shape language as well.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Spiky personality. Round and spiky inside. That's actually really cool.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff. We take a lot of inspiration from this sort of thing in our books as well.
That's so cool. I really like that pose. That's curve,
yeah, that's a really good pose.
Straight, stability.
Yeah,
right?
so what Christina was saying earlier, remember? Curve, but you have this nice straight leg.
And even straight arms. And also, it's kind of like an A pose.
Yeah.
But it still looks dynamic.
There's more shapes. This is like a shape assignment that a lot of people do. They make a simple shape and then they fill it in with a face. Kind of talked about this sort of thing in a stream a little while back. Remember that, like, witch?
Yeah, I remember that.
So.
Yeah, that witch one.
Yeah, lots of really good stuff.
That's fun.
But anyways, that's Framed Ink, and he also has Framed Ink 2. So this is the second book. Really good composition book.
Ooh.
He talks a lot about, like, sequential shots if you're, like, writing a comic. So, like, what happens in sequential order. This is really, really good stuff. A lot of it is pretty technical, but it really just comes down to simple shapes. And since we were talking about shape language earlier...
I think of that. That's a city shot with a person in there.
There's a city shot with a person in it.
But it's like, you can see that the shape of the background is like just like this.
Yeah, and like this is basically how he planned it, very simply. So because remember, like if something's too complex, your brain can't break it down and understand it. So something needs to be understandable from a very, very simple shape layout, and then you can add details to those simple shapes.
I'm adding every book mentioned onto my cart on Amazon.
So he has 2 other books that I don't have. My brother has them, but I don't have them. They're called Framed Perspective, and I recommend both of those. Framed Perspective 1 and Framed Perspective 2. I'm actually going to pick them up so I can show them on stream. Framed Perspective.
Oh, thank you, Autumn Heart, for sharing the live.
So he has 2 of these, I believe. So he's got 4 books total. This guy's a really, really high-level comic artist. This book, Framed Ink, has been around for quite a while. I don't remember when it was first published, but it's been around for a while. It's a very good book, 2010. And that's it. Those are the books that I recommend on, like, perspective and backgrounds. There's some others, but, like, that's 4 books. So it should be enough for now.
All right. Putting characters into backgrounds. Do you think that covered a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we talk a lot about this kind of stuff in our school as well. We go into a lot more depth, and we actually teach a lot of it as well.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll do skirts, and then we'll do the OC creation process. That'd be kind of fun. So, like, I'll probably discuss, like, different types of ways to create OCs. There's no right or wrong way. So let's do skirts. This is, like, way off topic, but, I mean, it's fun.
Yeah. The best way to break down a skirt is a cone.
Yeah.
It's like a chopped
off cone. It's basically this, but you chop this top part.
Yep.
And it becomes...
And then the bottom becomes very flexible, but the top pretty much stays a cone.
Yeah, because this wraps around your waist.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Aiden.
This stream is so chill. Nice. I think that's nice. So, like, if you were to draw a pleated skirt, or a ruffle skirt, whichever it is, this will be a lot more like free-forming than this one up here. So let me do this real quick. It also really depends, like, you know, how low, like, I would also recommend drawing the waist and the legs with the skirt.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was just browsing TikTok and your stream came up, and I was like, oh, Christina, look at this.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Aiden draws. So when you're drawing like a skirt, depending on the waistline, some people have a high-waisted skirt, which means it'll cover mostly their belly button. Some will have a low-waisted skirt, which will basically be around the pelvis area. And some will just kind of be like normal, which is not super high-waisted. It's kind of in the middle. And if you're going to draw a pleated skirt, I like drawing pleated skirts because it's just so common.
We have some of the skirt stuff in our book.
We do?
We have a whole section on skirts in our school.
We do. We do. So pleated skirts have multiple shapes. We can have a triangle pleated skirt like this. This is the shape. We can have a puzzle piece type. This is one of my favorites. And then we also have the zigzag type that's going diagonal. So the most common one, I think, is the diagonal one. Just because there's just a lot of school uniforms that look like that.
At least if you want to draw like anime stuff.
If you want to draw anime stuff, but most of the time, all you have to do is just overlap. So you have one, you'll start with 1, 2, 3, look at that. Look at the zigzag. 4, 5. It just really depends on how big the pleats you want it. And another thing is that they have little inside pleats in between each pleat.
Yeah. Oh, you want to see something cool, chat?
Do it.
Here's a crossover. See how over here I was talking about depth versus graphical? See this little shape right here? This little staircase shape? Guess where that shows up?
Haha.
It shows up on skirts right here because it creates depth. Because this is wrapping around towards the back. So if you want your artwork to look pro, create that. Find excuses to give that stair-stepping effect. So you could even put one on the other side too.
Yes. In fact, I do that a lot, but I didn't do it this time. You know, if you were to draw, like, there's also multiple other types of skirts, like a pencil skirt.
Because it's a design principle, it appears all over the place in different situations. It doesn't care about subject matter. It's just a design principle.
So if I'm going to draw legs, I'm going to draw one foot in front of the other, because this shows the pencil skirt a little bit more dynamically. So a pencil skirt is basically, or a mini skirt, whichever it is, it's a very form-fitting skirt that covers either the top of the thighs or a little bit at the bottom of the legs. Juliet has that skirt. Basically very form-fitting. And sometimes if your leg is in front of the other, you'll see this dynamic shape right here, this diagonal line, because this leg is coming forward, so it creates this kind of bend in the cloth.
So this leg is coming like this, and that leg is going back in space.
Yep. And a lot of time, you'll see folds that gravitate this way. So you'll see the tug in the skirt. You know, I could go on and on about skirts, but...
Yeah.
There we go.
Talk about figure eight a little bit, and then maybe we'll move on.
Sure. So if you're going to draw a skirt in motion, like let's say...
Someone's running.
So this is the pelvis. Here's the glutes. Here's the legs. Here's the other leg. If you want to...
I don't know if you'd see this like that, would you?
No, yeah, that's right. You would see it more.
Maybe you'd see that one.
Maybe you see that one. That's right. If you want to draw it running, first cloth, when it's being pulled, especially when you're running, will collapse towards the front if the wind is going this way, right? So then this side will be flowing out, this side will be clinging close to the skin, and then this is where we do the figure eight. So the figure eight is just a shape where it just looks really nice, right? You can do...
Just draw it slow so I can see.
Yeah. You can do whatever figure eight shape that you want. You can make one side a little bit more billowed, the other side a little bit smaller. Yeah. You can make it wider.
Back to design. Remember that whole thing about dynamic shapes and how you want to try and avoid symmetry, right? Symmetry is static. So if you draw a figure eight and it's a static figure eight,
very even figure
it's going to be very even, split down the middle. So if you want your skirt to look dynamic, you don't want to do this. You want to do something more like that, where it's one side is larger and one side is smaller.
Yes.
So
we do
that's why we talked about those fundamental design principles at the beginning of stream, because they just show up all the time.
Yep. So we can do a little figure eight right here. I want a small figure eight on this side, but I want a big figure eight on this side, because this is the more like free-flowing side. And then this is where we can draw some overlaps. Since we're kind of looking towards this character, we're not looking behind it, we won't see the underside of the skirt unless it's clear. Yeah. But
I might be able to bring up some of the skirt stuff from the anime art school. So this is some of the clothing stuff in anime art school. It's a little preview video. I don't know when the skirts are, though.
I don't know when the skirts are. I think it's coming up soon. We just gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of lessons. Boots. Oh. Oops. Gotta exit out of that. Come on. I don't know if it'll come up. Materials. It might have already been gone. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else.
Sure.
Shirts and top, pants and skirts.
If you're drawing like a ruffle, go ahead.
Some of it.
Yeah. There it is.
That kind of stuff. It's a cone, and the bottom is like Jell-O.
Yep.
Kind of like Jell-O.
So if you're drawing the pleated skirt again, I like drawing pleated skirts because you can really see the motion in the skirt itself. You can add like little zigzags at the bottom of the skirt and have it come out like this. And then you can draw the rest of the pleats kind of gravitating towards the waist. And sometimes you'll also see a lot of creases happening in the areas of compression, like when the leg is lifting up, you'll see creases up here. When the skirt is blowing back, you'll also see creases before it comes out like that. So notice these things. It's most of the time you just have to study it, like actually draw skirts in motion, look at pictures of how skirts flow, and you'll notice certain things like where the creases are, what shapes it creates, and stuff like that. Hopefully that helps. So yeah, person running with the skirt blowing behind them. All right, so we covered skirts. Now let's do OC creation process.
Yes, so maybe we'll just go into the whole lesson.
Shenanigans. Okay. Let me just put this character in here. So there's multiple ways to create OCs. Kind of what you mentioned before, Colton, how to create OCs.
Yeah. The first off, I want to say, there's no one right way to do this. It's kind of whatever you feel like. But you also have to understand that designers have been designing things for hundreds and thousands of years. And so there's some pretty good processes out there.
Yeah.
And, you know.
This is how I like to start it. I like to think about the vibe. Like, what's this character about? Vibe, story, personality.
Well, there's generally two ways to do it.
Yeah.
One is you start with, I know who I want this character to be. And the other one is you start with the drawing and you discover who the character is as you draw.
Draw and discover.
Yeah, draw and discover.
So this is when you already have an idea. This is kind of when you don't have an idea.
Thank you for the Rosa Autumn.
Oh, thank you. Rosa. Oh, that's pretty.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey, Abigail.
Hello, Abigail.
So when we created Lorraine, it was a draw and discover.
Yes.
So
now, I do want to say something about number 2. This is very advanced. And I don't mean if you do this, you are advanced. I mean, in order to be able to do this, you have to be advanced. You generally have to understand a lot of like the shape language stuff and design principles and anatomy and everything that we talked about. Like, you have to be advanced to do both.
Yeah.
But this one's hard.
This one, you kind of have to lay a groundwork.
Yeah, it requires you to be able to think and draw at the same time, so you have to be pretty good at stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that, Abigail, but I'm glad that we make you happy.
Aw.
Sending hearts your way.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that sucks.
So if you ever are trying to design a character and it doesn't turn out at all, there's hard things and there's not as hard things, and a lot of the time beginners won't know what's hard and what's not hard, and then they'll suffer and struggle and shed tears
and they just
get into art block because they accidentally tried to do something very difficult but they didn't realize it.
So like if you're creating character and you're like, crap, I don't know what to do, I don't know what this is, and like, oh, this is just not coming out right. Well, there's a lot of things that you might be missing. One, you might be missing foundation. You don't have enough visual library yet, meaning you don't know what things look like enough.
Visual library is a big one.
So I'm just going to put X's. X. You don't have design knowledge. Now, this is not to say that if you don't have any of these, you can't design a character at all. It'll just be a lot harder.
Yeah, the less you have of each of these, the harder it will be.
Design fundamentals. Toes. There we go. A lot of the time, these are the core things that you don't have.
Design fundamental. Yeah, like foundation, right?
Yeah.
Like perspective. Anatomy. Like color theory. Value. Etc.
It's like trying to bake a cake without learning how to bake at all.
Yeah.
Or not knowing what flour is, or not knowing how to I don't know, use baking
Not
powder.
having any measuring tools, not even having an oven. You can't tell what temperature the oven is even set at.
So...
by the way, all of this stuff is what our school basically aims to get you good at.
Yeah. In fact, our character design course covers that as well as our portfolio class.
Yeah.
So creating OCs is basically, you know, what we do. So this is why this is
Hi, Beaver.
an advanced level.
I loved the Mickey fan art.
Oh, I know, so cute. I loved it.
I saved it.
I know. So a lot of time to make things a lot easier, try to do a little bit of groundwork. Try to find what kind of story your character is, like, you know, find their clothing style, like what's their fashion like.
What time period did they live in?
Fashion, time period. Make it very easy.
Yeah, what's their personality?
Personality.
And collect reference boards of this kind of stuff.
And all these will have reference boards.
My visual library for clothes is very limited. To fix that, just go to Pinterest and find a whole bunch of outfits and just draw them.
Find a whole bunch of outfits, learn the names of the different aesthetics, and also learn some names of the types of fabric or types of, like, skirts. Like, know what a trench coat looks like and also what their name is.
Yeah, like, what does a bomber jacket look like?
Oh,
what
I
does
love
an
bomber
aviator jacket look like? What does a biker jacket look like? How do they differ from each other? What are their functions? What purpose?
Yeah.
And then draw them all multiple times from multiple angles.
Mm-hmm. So, when we create...
You'll learn so fast if you do that.
Yeah. So once you have the ref boards, then you know, a lot of the time when you try to create an OC, a lot of people try to just from start to finish immediately. And they're like, oh, I have to make this design perfect from the get-go. But then they don't have all this stuff ready. So when they try to make it perfect, it doesn't come out right. And to be expected, because if you're missing certain things, you can't make the design.
Yep. Jared, welcome.
Make rough sketches.
Catty Draws, welcome.
Hi.
Pinterest is literally my savior. Yeah, it's very good.
Rough sketches.
Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
If anybody's new here, first time showing up today, or your second time, give us a hi in the chat. We'll give you a shout out and welcome you.
Yeah. Explore colors. So this is what you should do when you make an OC. If you're having a hard time making one, make as many.
Welcome.
Hi. Make as many rough sketches as you want. There's no like punishment for preparing yourself, right? For practicing. Make as many rough sketches as you want. Try different colors. Try different, outfits. Try anything that you want.
Ernest Renova sent heart me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Then, when you have like a rough idea, pick one that you like. Pick a few that you like. Pick, 3 favorites.
Favorites of what?
Of the characters that you like from the rough sketches.
Oh, yeah.
From roughs.
Well, I notice a lot of the time beginners will get it in their heads that they're like, I don't really do sketches. And then they will kind of continue to not do them. And it'll become like their trademark of, oh yeah, I never do that.
Yeah, but...
And all that happens is their work just suffers.
Yeah. So then, you can draw as many pages or whatever as you want.
It's like someone saying, you know what my baking style is? My baking style is turning on the oven, not even looking at the temperature, and just assigning a random temperature and then putting the cake in. And, that's my style of baking.
Yeah.
And then the cake comes out.
So...
And you have no idea.
I know.
Whether it's going to be cooked or burnt, and it's like, well, I've been doing it this long. I might as well just keep doing it.
That's so funny.
Duck Does Art, welcome.
So then, once you have your rough sketches, you pick 3 or however many that you want your favorites. I like to narrow it down to 3 because 3 is a fun number. And 2, it helps me to narrow down what I really want in the design. And then that's when I take my roughs and refine it. Figure out how the design actually works.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
So say, for example, you really like the jacket. So you have A, B, C. You make a new character, and it's usually going to be from one of these. Let's say we take C, and we go, oh, I really like the hat on A. I really like the jacket on B, but I like the body of C. And that's a lot of the time, especially in the video game, in the entertainment design industry, that's how designs are made a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You take the pieces that you like.
Yeah. Hopefully you're having a good posture, Shannon.
I get burned out drawing a lot. I just go with the first thing I come up with. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. It's like, try to enjoy the process of just creating more.
Yeah.
Try to enjoy the process of making all the sketches and exploring and thinking about different things. I noticed that a lot of the time, not necessarily saying that you do this, but a lot of people do, is they're in very much a rush to get the artwork done rather than, like, have fun exploring. It's almost like, imagine you go to Disney World and your only objective for the day is just to get done with the day.
Yeah.
It's like, treat art like you're having a good time on vacation and you want it to last a long time. If you can. Pompoof, welcome.
Hey, Pompoof.
Welcome, welcome.
So then after you get your, once you're happy with the design, that's when you start polishing. Because you're happy with the design, it looks, good, it's what you want, and then when you polish it, the design's already figured out. So all you have to do is just kind of turn your brain off, sort of. Not really, but... design's already figured out. The hardest part's already done. This is the hardest part. So when you polish this character and color it and stuff, that's the fun part. So a lot of people think that they have to do this first try, but in reality, it takes multiple steps to get to a good level.
Yeah, and what a lot of people see is they see a pro do this right off the bat, but they don't realize it's actually a type of character they've drawn like hundreds of times.
Oh my gosh.
So you'll tune into a live stream or you'll see a professional artist drawing and they'll draw this right off the bat. And you'll think, well, they don't use iterations, they don't use sketches, so maybe I won't either.
Yeah.
But they used sketches. They've spent the last 10 years doing it.
Yeah. So with that out of the way, that's how we create an OC. At least if you want like a more streamlined process. Now let's make one.
All right, Super Novs. Hey yo.
It's all good.
I'm not Fox. Welcome. Got to go crying. Rip.
It's okay.
Shannon. Hey, how's it going?
So let me
guys
go.
Are describing yourselves. Yeah, just drawing something right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's good for teaching. Like if we did all the sketches and stuff during the lesson, the stream would last 6 hours. Everybody would have left, and then we never even would get to the point.
Yeah.
Written so many notes. You've written a bunch of notes, Danny, or we have?
So let me see if this is on the right layer. Okay, yeah. All right, so of course we'll send this into the Discord.
Yeah. By the way, you know us. Our streams and education are geared towards people who want to get hired professionally as artists in like the design industry or entertainment industry, or want to make their own like webcomic and do it for a living. Like if you just do art for fun and like just want to do your own thing, totally ignore all of what we're saying and just keep having fun for real. But if you want to make money off of your art and actually like make a decent living, this is a pretty good starting point.
Yeah.
Or if you want to get to that level, even if you do want to do art as a hobby, then, we'd love to have you here.
So I'm having a few ideas of what we could do. Well, this is stuff that we also discussed. So we were thinking of doing a little butler for Lorraine or a playmate. Remember we discussed the playmate idea? I was also thinking maybe the skull minions that she can probably control because she's the graveyard princess.
I like the idea of the butler.
I like the idea of the butler as well.
I feel like it would be a good contrast.
Yeah.
In characters. So I honestly think we should probably do butler.
I think so too.
Maybe start on the sketches.
Sure.
My friend wants to be an animator/writer and wants me to help her draw characters.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That's so cute. I love it. I love that.
Hi, Mitsubi, you just got here and we're just starting on the character design.
Yeah, very good timing.
Very good timing.
So, we're thinking of designing her butler.
Yes.
I always like the idea. Now, these are like very big napkin sketches. I'm either thinking Lorraine's like very tiny and frail. And we could either have like a very tall butler, or we can have like a very bulky guy, dynamic.
Almost like a dwarf build.
Or even maybe Lorraine could be very tall.
I kind of like the idea. What about this?
Okay.
Very tall, skinny butler in a suit, and he's got this big platter that he holds that's like he uses as a weapon. So it's like a disc that he could like throw.
Oh, give me like Black Butler vibes, and I liked that.
I've never seen Black Butler.
It's a fun show. At least I like the first season a lot.
That's like one idea.
Yeah, that's one idea. I think
Tall
it'd
butler
be...
for sure. Yeah, but we also don't want to make sure that we don't go with the first idea is usually the most generic.
Yeah.
So if you want to get away from generic ideas and come up with something really creative, you usually have to come up with ideas for a long time. But a tall butler is not a bad idea.
I think an old, short butler would be really cute.
That could be cute.
Like, that's the person.
But it's just two butlers, and one of them's like
very
really
stout.
short and stout, and the other one's really tall.
I think that's really cute, and they probably like banter at each other or something.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he has two butlers.
Like
maybe she has two butlers.
Almost like the idea of like the dwarf and the elf.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I really like that. And I feel like this guy would be like a foodie. I don't know, maybe. Maybe he'd like be like extra... I don't know. I don't know if Lorraine could actually eat, but if she could eat, I feel like he would be like, man, I wish I could cook again.
I feel like she would eat.
Okay. So maybe I feel like this guy would be like the foodie. He'd always... go ahead.
Don't take food away from her too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, that's true. So maybe like he's very particular about the food, so he maybe always makes the food that she remembers before she passed.
So this guy's the chef and this guy's the butler.
Yeah. That's actually so cute. Chef and butler. Yeah, we could do that.
Or we could swap. So we could just go, this guy's the butler, this guy's the chef. See, Sanji is a tall chef.
Sanji is a tall chef. That's right. That's
but
actually a good idea.
his what was that guy's name? The chef with the tall hat that trained him?
Oh, Zeph.
Zeph? He was kind of like a short, stout, stocky chef.
Yeah, that's right. We could do some other ideas. Maybe. And y'all can pitch in too if you have
just
cute
the
ideas.
comedy of him fitting through doors and having to turn sideways. See, that could be
cute.
funny. Thinking a butler with really pale skin and big eye bags.
Oh, that's cute.
Black Butler is pretty good. I've heard it was good.
It has like mystery and kind of...
Yeah, I do like these
murder
ideas.
mystery
Make
stuff.
the tall butler simpable. I need to make fan art. We'll
Simpable?
make a simpable character.
Yeah.
One of them will definitely be simpable. Probably the tall one.
Probably the tall one. But I wanted to make him not just like look like a beautiful anime boy. I wanted to look like distinct, cool and distinct, and also simpable. So what if another idea for a servant? Now this might not be as fun to design, but I mean we gotta mention it. So this is Lorraine, but like what if it was like a floating skull?
Maybe that's like what they really look like. Maybe the story could be like, this is what she sees and this is what everyone else sees.
Oh.
So it's just like kind of two, right?
Maybe she could see the souls.
Skulls, and they're like this, right?
Well, it'd be like maybe their heads. So like maybe we would have like a very short. So if this is Lorraine and we're doing this idea, we could have Lorraine like this.
Can I eat your art style and make an ability to make OCs kindly?
This takes a lot of time. I wish we could just like suck it all up, but so like what if in people vision, like normal people vision, they would just humans.
I mean, remember like what was that anime? Was it Overlord? Oh. No, it was the spider. I'm a spider, so what? Like she would see herself with the cute face, but everyone else would see her with the spider.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you seen that anime, anybody? So I'm a spider, so what, or something like that? Like, the spider saw herself as adorable.
Yeah,
but
that's
everybody else was like, this is a demon.
Yeah, no, we see her as adorable.
That's how she sees herself, and that's how the audience sees her.
That's right.
So maybe we'd have a similar thing, like, we see them like this.
Yep.
But then this is how everybody else sees her, and it's like this terrifying presence.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that. That's a fun idea.
I like that. What do you think, chat? Do you like that idea? Do you think you guys ever do co-host when you're not teaching? I'm certainly open to try it. We haven't tried it yet, but my motto is try everything because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And there's no risk.
So what's the story behind her, Lexi?
So yeah, probably.
That'd be cute.
What's the story behind her? She's royalty, and there was a big war that happened in her country, and the whole royal family got poisoned, and she got poisoned during her tea time with her bestie, and she died. Oh. And now she wanders the mass grave
of the war,
and her name is the Graveyard Princess.
Mm-hmm. She was an innocent.
Maybe we'll do a crossover where Miki and the gang explore the
Oh
graveyard.
my gosh, that's cute. They travel to like a landmark that happened in that area.
Can I draw her parents?
We don't know what their parents
We don't know
look
what
like.
the parents look like. You're welcome to you're welcome to try and interpret. And I'll check it out. You can tag us when you do it.
All right. So
I would rather have Miki fan art.
I'd rather have girl group fan art because this character, we're kind of just doing it for fun, but it's not necessarily like a staple. It's kind of cool.
Well, that's cute.
Okay, so now I'm gonna find reference because we got the idea of we like the idea of the chef and the butler.
Okay.
Now I gotta look up some reference of 1800s.
Yeah.
Is it 1800s? 1800s fashion. Let me look.
Yeah, I think it would be in the 1800s in like England or Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
We could even do like a Scotland type thing.
Huh. Kind of this vibe. That's cute. I like that. Okay, well this is the first image that came up, but I'm gonna collect it. I'm gonna save it.
By the way, I would say these sketches here are probably some of the most important for the entire project. This thinking.
Yeah.
That's what Christine and I do. Rusty, have a good one. See you later.
So another thing that a lot of people do as well is they work with silhouette first, but this is kind of more advanced as well.
Yeah, you need to know perspective well for this one. Well,
Yeah.
you need to know perspective well for any character art.
Right.
But especially like silhouette.
Like I'm thinking this guy will be like very actually no. Not super round, but actually more like
I don't feel about saying Scotland in a Scottish accent right as Colton said Scotland. Wait, I have a dumb idea. Can I say it? Feel free.
yeah.
Demure. What is with that word lately?
Guys, where did the word demure come from? I
Is that like
hear
a
it
meme?
everywhere. Is it like a meme, guys?
I see demure everywhere now. Mulan.
I want the silhouette to kind of look like this.
Yes, it's a trend.
So where did that trend come from is the thing.
Very demure, very mindful. I thought there was an E at the end of demure. Maybe I'm wrong.
There is a E at the end of demure.
A woman was describing herself. Someone says Mulan. Is it
Mulan?
from Mulan? It's from this one girl who was saying that. I don't know.
Gonna look up 1800
I'm so demure.
chef.
Not the movie. Give them little bows or for bow ties. Maybe she dresses them cute to have a tea party with her.
That'd be kind of cute.
I was
actually.
even thinking, what if the butler on his tray had her little tea party set up? Like
Oh, that's
sometimes.
cute. I want this guy to have a big beard.
Ooh, chat, you might like this idea. So, you visit the graveyard, right? So she kills people. She haunts them. But I wanted to think of an interesting way she could haunt them, right? Let's say this. Hear me out. The butler has his big platter, and the tea party is set up on it. And when someone visits the graveyard, if she decides to haunt them, she has a tea party with the person as she decides whether or not to kill them. So the butler, like, takes out his thing, and then you have to have a tea party with her and play a game, and if you lose, you die.
That's cool. That's cool.
I gotta let it brew for a minute.
I know that this ain't really... I don't know if I want to make them super anime, like, style, but...
F2M comedian describing how she doesn't make any waves at work with how she dresses and does makeup. Very demure, very cutesy, very mindful. Okay, Colton is cooking. She haunts the kettle.
She haunts the kettle.
It might be similar to a genie in a pot. And I don't... That's cute.
This is kind of like my initial idea of what he might look like.
Bro gave his hat veins.
By its fault.
No, I'm kidding. It looked like folds. Remember what JP was saying about like all the soot?
Yes.
So that's cool.
But I feel like he'd be a head chef, so he probably wouldn't like Well, actually, you know what? We'll give him some sex.
Poisons the tea. Maybe. Like, maybe she gives the option of 2 teacups. Or, like, you know how it's like, she has one and you have the other and one of them's poisoned, but you don't know which one?
Oh, yeah.
It might not be an interesting enough game, though. Like, one's poisoned, one's not.
They gotta have, like, a series of games, I think. Like, oh, now that you passed this test, you know, we gotta do another one.
Uh-huh.
I wanna make his belly really big.
Could be interesting.
I want a sash. Or an apron.
Bro, what if he had, like... If he had, like, a thing like this, and it was, like, a... And then there was, like, bread.
Ha! That's cute. It's like a little belt. Utility belt.
Like a little bread belt.
Oh, man, that's not sanitary, but yes. I feel like that would be his personal snack. That's cute. Okay, I'm going with that.
She keeps testing you until you fail. I'm not sure.
The thing
I
is,
feel like
what
she
purpose?
would be relatively fair. She seems pretty fair to me.
I don't think she'd be ruthless.
No.
She seems like a good-natured girl.
She has to have a challenge that's fair, but also kind of reflects how she died. And it's also very hard to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, why does she do it?
Have a good time making cookies.
Bye, yummy, yummy cookies.
Or, like, if you have something and you can choose between one thing, but if you pick, there's a consequence. Yeah, maybe, like, that kind of thing.
I want to give him, like, hairy arms. And I'm thinking this is what he looks like before he dies, and I want to draw a version of him when he dies. So, like, maybe, like, what would his death be like?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Could be fun. What if it was, like, musical chairs with other ghosts or musical statues? I haven't heard of that beaver. Maybe she's like Princess Maya from Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle.
Oh, okay. That's an anime.
If you drink the red cup, you wake up. If you drink the blue cup, you die. Yeah, maybe something like that. I want it to be harder. I want the odds to be less than 50-50.
Ladle.
Okay, I ordered the right one this time, so tomorrow I will sketch along. What did you order?
A tablet, was it?
Was it tablet? Oh, yeah. Sarah Bales. It's really good. It's one of my favorite. Musical statues. If you lose, you become permanent statue.
Ooh, that's actually fun. So,
and
like,
maybe that's like, she has this, maybe you permanently are having tea time as a statue. Where does a statue thing come from then? She doesn't really have anything to do with statues.
because she turns people into skeletons, right? Or skeleton minions, if that's what I remember correctly.
Maybe, I don't know. I love this design. It's so cute.
Oh, thank you. Different style for sure.
I'm thinking 15 cups where 14 are poisoned. Ooh, that's not bad.
Ooh.
See, that's what I like. I like less odds. But there's maybe, like, hints in her. Maybe she talks in, like, riddles because she's, like, very literate.
Yeah.
Maybe he also has, like, this is kind of like playing on that dwarf thing, right? Maybe he's also got, like, pots.
Oh, Danny's here. What
Hanging.
are y'all talking about?
What if he's got, like,
Yeah, let's do the pants.
pots hanging from his belt?
We're making characters.
Maybe something like that. And then maybe he's got, like, another soup spoon coming.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I should probably... Actually, that's fine.
I feel like he would have his own tasting set.
Maybe something like that.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Spices at his belt? That could be kind of neat.
Spice, like bullets? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, spices are on his belt, but where?
Hi, Danny.
What's up?
We're designing a new character.
I want to, like, what if I added the spices here? So it's kind of like weaponry. Or
he's more of a chef.
Yeah.
He's multi-purpose. Why does the baker have a ladle?
Because he's a
chef. The ladle
chef.
is a nice long tool, and he also tastes soup.
He's the taste tester.
Got to go. Sorry, it's all good.
He's the head chef and likes bread, and so he has his own bread. He probably has his own bread thingy that he eats for himself.
Looked away for a second, and you have a whole character. How?
This is ideation sketch. It's not the whole character yet.
This is a very similar process to how we made our book.
That's right. So I'm thinking these are all spice kits, and what this looks like on the side are like these little...
Maybe. See, the thing with that is it tends to look like a person with the shotgun shell vest.
That's true. That's true.
I don't want him to look like a warrior.
That's
like
true.
Like a military officer.
Yeah, that's true.
Or like Rambo.
That's true.
But I do like that kind of idea. What if you had like a mini one?
Okay. I'm gonna have to undo all this because I should have done it on another layer. Undo.
Statues are in graveyards, so if you did that, it would work. Yeah, there are statues in graveyards, especially like European ones. But it feels like maybe we could like add some sort of like a statue motif or something to her. I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know.
So
I'm still thinking about it.
We still haven't really figured like what her powers are exactly. Like we kind of talked about her turning people into skeleton servants, not necessarily into statues, but
maybe they could be like, ooh, oh, how about this? Hear me out, right?
Okay.
Chess.
Yeah, chess pieces.
Chess pieces.
I like that.
Lorraine's sophisticated, so she would probably play chess.
So let me just write things down.
What if her victims were turned into little chess piece statues?
Turns people into chess pieces.
Weeping angel thing. That is an interesting idea. I like the chess idea. I like this.
And we can like theme the chess pieces into kind of like skeleton looking kind of thing.
Yeah. Maybe.
I'll just write a question mark. What's the game again? 15 cups, but 14 is poison.
Yeah, 14, 13 maybe.
13 is poison.
Yeah.
So like, I'm kind of just wondering like, why does she do this again?
Sam.
Is she just because she's like a haunted? She just wants to haunt people, or is she like kind of like still like, is she still have a grudge like she hasn't passed on yet?
Maybe. I think that the like the poison cups and stuff.
Yeah. Like the games.
Maybe that has to do with or we could get rid of the poison idea and just go, you have to play a chess game with her, and if you win, you get to live.
Yeah.
Or maybe with each chess piece that gets taken, you have to drink. And, like, maybe there's 14 cups that are not poisoned and one that is. And you have to drink every time you lose a chess piece.
Why do I feel like that's like Russian roulette, but, like, with tea?
Yeah, maybe so.
Tea roulette.
But there is the butterfly motif as well.
And
I don't want to put too many different things into one character, because then it gets muddled.
Yeah, because we did mention that she controls, like, these butterflies.
Yeah.
Corpse butterflies or something like that. And she makes the tea out of the flowers that grow in the garden area.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can just like spit out the ideas and just choose the ones that we like.
I like chess. Because she's sophisticated.
I like chess too.
And chess is very visual as well. Like if we do something like poetry or riddles, like I want a character that's like very, because we're not really going to do anything with Lorraine.
Yeah.
Like most likely. So something that's very visual that can be represented as drawings, like chess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Butterfly poison. What if she's like welcoming, but if you do anything slightly out of order, she gets mad? I feel like she wouldn't have too bad of a temper.
I'm just like wondering like why does she want to haunt the people? Like, and who would she haunt? Like, would it be like a specific family or lineage because they targeted her family?
Who would she haunt?
Like,
she'd haunt the graveyard.
No, I know, but like, so anyone that comes into the graveyard she'd haunt. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Statue potion instead of poison.
Haunts anyone coming into the graveyard with ill intentions, or just anyone?
Butterfly prison. I like the idea of like sleep as well. Like maybe she'll put you to sleep. Maybe that's how she kills you. Like if you lose, you get put to sleep from the butterflies and you never wake up.
And you get turned into one of her chess pieces that she uses to play games with.
That could be fun.
Idea. And then it comes into
I need my
graveyard.
bubblies.
I need a snack.
Apple juice.
So let's design the butler then. We kind of got a little rough sketch of the chef.
Every time you lose, you drink an apothecary diaries. Something like that. Yeah, she just targets who comes into the graveyard generally. She would haunt out of boredom. Butterfly cocoon. Butterfly cocoon.
Butterfly cocoon sounds cute. Butterfly cocoon.
Maybe that's how they become like a statue.
Ooh, like a statue made of butterfly, like hardened material.
Could be.
Turns into a statue.
That could be an idea.
Butterfly cocoon. Statue. Idea.
I do slick back hair.
Slick
Maybe
back
the
hair.
tall butler would have slick back hair.
Okay. Let me just draw his face real quick, because I kind of want to like make sure looks very distinct. Sometimes I draw the face first, other times I draw the body. But I feel like with this guy, since we want to make him look pretty handsome, we'll do that. We'll start with the head first.
Me to be, are you still here? Because this is probably going to be the character that's better looking.
That's better. I want to give him a hook nose. Like a nice hook nose, you know? He looks...
Hook nose is good. I want our characters to look unique. I don't want them all just to be pretty boys.
Yeah, I don't either.
Maybe her motive is she got lost. The graveyard and the butterflies made her a potion to sustain her. There could be some lore behind the butterflies.
Yeah, and why does she... Like, how does she turn back into life? Like, was there, like, some...
Turn back into
life? Like, sorry, how does she, like... Oh, is she a ghost, or is she reincarnated? Not reincarnated, like, does she, like, come back from the dead? Maybe she's a spirit?
She may just appear, have the way she wants to appear for people.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe her sense of grief was so strong that she came back to her... She, remained as a spirit.
Maybe
Because a lot of time that kind of does happen.
She doesn't trust a living person and only likes dead people. Bro motive, droopy eyes, pretty boy's angry face. Giving me vampire vibes. Give him earrings.
No earrings.
I don't feel like a...
We're not doing goth, like, grunge
I don't feel like a European fancy butler would probably have earrings.
Yeah. I think he would be pretty put
Alright,
together.
Shannon, have a good one. What if she came back like in FMA? Maybe.
What's FMA again?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh.
You never finished.
That's right.
I watched it.
Cheekbones.
Monocle?
Monocle's kind of fun.
Could try that. Maybe just on a different layer.
Yeah, that's right.
Or if you want to keep it on one, it don't matter.
What is a monocle? How does a monocle stay up anyways?
I don't know. It's magic.
It's magic to me. A monocle. I still don't... Oh, okay. It looks like it clips. Like, based on this, it looks like it clips to the skin like that. And
what, on Earth?
And holds it. Maybe.
No, it don't clip
No
to the
way.
skin. I think it, like, it's, like, between, like, the brow ridge, like...
Or maybe...
Skin and, like...
It could just be like that.
That's kind of fun. I don't mind that. Did you show chat?
Yeah, this one. Like, it's like... The bridge of the glasses is still there. But it's just one-sided.
That's fun.
Like that. I
the
like
brow
that.
and cheek. Yeah, it could almost get, like, tucked in there.
I like monocle.
What if he had like a red monocle?
Ooh, red monocle.
Maybe it gives him some power. I know
Turn
for
him
a
into
fact,
stone. I'm kidding.
You're gonna have to battle both the butlers.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a video game now.
That's a video game.
Like, remember in Baldur's Gate, the doctor with the nurses?
Yes, I remember. That was horrifying.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
I loved the designs in that game.
So what does a monocle even hook onto? Like, what is it like a necklace?
What if she had dolls to play with? See, I would like dolls instead of statues a lot of the time.
That's true. I would too.
Hello. I don't know your name. It's just a dot for me.
What if I gave him like a little cowlick like that?
Help. The butler is not my cup of tea, but someone will simp for him. I don't simp for him either.
Not yet. This is just ideation 1.
Yeah.
We're gonna make him a little bit different. This is just my initial idea of what he might look like, but we're gonna make him a little bit more attractive.
Chuki says, I love him.
Someone likes him.
What if he can turn into that version and then the more attractive version? There are characters in anime. The thing about anime, though, a lot of the design decisions in a lot of animes are very generic.
That's true.
That's actually pretty well known in the design industry, is that anime a lot of the time is incredibly generic.
Yeah.
So because it was done in an anime doesn't mean it's a good idea. It doesn't mean it's a bad idea either.
I don't want him to look young. I want him to look like
almost all isekai anime, there's never really any clever world building or interesting backstories or anything. It becomes very apparent when you play like a really well-designed game, or like you watch something like Game of Thrones and then immediately watch an isekai. You can like feel this massive difference in like world building and story and character development. It's not bad. I don't dislike anime. I love it. But like, I have eyeballs.
I have eyeballs and I have tastes.
I feel like they would call her Madame Lorraine.
That's cute.
I like that.
I like Madame Lorraine. Madame Lorraine. I'm just gonna write this all down.
It's a spicy, boiling hot take, but I feel like, I don't even know, 95% of isekais would be much better as a non-isekai.
I agree. Let me think of like...
If Christine and I were to make this project an isekai, we would basically just say some guy got hit by a truck and now we don't have to come up for backstories for any of the characters.
Yep.
Lady Lorraine, that's not bad.
Lady Lorraine is good.
I feel like the butler maybe would do Madame Lorraine and the chef would do Lady Lorraine.
I like that.
That's fun. How about we do both?
Chef.
I do love isekais. We go on these brain rot isekai watching sprees sometimes. I lose so many brain cells. I love them. But, yeah. I mean, you cannot watch, like, an isekai and then watch something like Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, or, like, Hellsing and be like, these are the same.
Yeah.
Time I turned into a vending machine. Yeah, we watched part of that.
We watched part of it. I thought it was cute.
It was funny.
It was silly.
I certainly didn't get invested in it, but it was cute.
I don't know. What if I made one version that maybe he wasn't super thin, but maybe just more like he kind of looked like a grandpa, but like not an ugly grandpa.
Rustic.
Like, I mean, like, remember Sebastian from Overlord? He's cool. Like,
he's cool.
I mean, like, I like that type of character because he looks cool and he's like, I don't know.
Yeah. So I thought Overlord was done well enough that they got away with it.
Yeah.
They mixed it up enough that they got away with it.
Yeah.
I feel like Lorraine would have multiple outfits.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I just gotta draw this beard right. I feel like I'm not cooking with this beard. I think the mustache actually needs to cover over the...
Technically, Attack on Titan is a mech anime.
It kind of is. Kind of is. Literally.
It is. It's a mech anime. Meat mech.
Meat mech. Yeah. It's a human mech.
Christian, I'm sorry, but Colton's is way more sassy.
You know,
You got that right, Kayla.
Yeah.
Campfire Cooking in Another World. I liked
that one. Was pretty good. I did not like the main character that much.
But it wasn't
about the main character.
It wasn't about being a good story. It was about, like, food ASMR.
Yeah.
And that's why it worked so well. If I'm thinking of the right one. That's the one with the wolf,
The wolf,
right?
and the slime, yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. You know what I mean? Like, if you go to YouTube and watch, like, mukbang, you don't have to know who the characters are.
That's true. You just watch...
You just listen to the food and see
and eat the food. And watch them eat the food.
You don't need character development and just...
Yep.
Like, what's that guy's? Guy Fieri?
Yeah. I'm trying to draw old men right now.
Pompoof, thank you for the tiny diny.
Oh, thank you.
Kind of a chill stream. Just hanging out. I got a lot of costume drawing to get done later today. What is today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday. Crap. Oh, crap. It's due tomorrow.
Yeah,
or
it's
due
due
tonight.
Tomorrow.
No, it's due tonight.
Well, midnight.
Monocle.
How many do I have done? 4 or 5? Half of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Beaver said he kinda.
We got an he kinda.
We got a he kinda. At least he's attracting someone. I don't know. If I'm just gonna be honest, I've just seen so many like traditionally attractive anime guys that I'm like, I don't wanna do that anymore. I wanna try like different kinds of guys that would be considered still pretty attractive. You know what I mean?
You're bored with the generic look?
I'm bored with the generic look. I've drawn so many generic guys that I'm like, I'm ready for something else. That's why I wanted to draw an old, cool grandpa. I just want to draw an old, cool grandpa.
That's not a young version and an old version. It's two different, like, ideas of designs.
Yeah.
I like the young one more. I think it's more, unique, interesting.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that. I like the shape of his nose and stuff.
I like the, what is the queen? In,
in
the Lady
Shield
Light.
Hero? Oh, Lady Light. Oh, yeah, Lady
Lady
Light's
Light
cool.
in the Anime Art School project.
Yes,
she
Lady
looks
Light.
really cool.
Oh, I'm so glad she does. I had a lot of fun with doing her, designing her.
How late am I?
Pretty late.
An hour and 38 minutes.
Oh, wow. It's a fun face.
Yeah.
This guy looks more like bulky than tall. I just like this guy. He's funny looking.
Yeah.
He's goofy.
He's goofy. The nice thing about working for an anime would be you wouldn't need to come up with a creative design. You could just do the first thing that comes to your head and they'd be like, sounds good.
Yep, sounds good. I mean, like...
Because the animes are always so generically designed.
Yeah.
You'd never be able to get away with that in like a Western AAA game project. All right, Nina, have a good dinner.
Bye.
We probably won't be on a super long time just because we gotta
do work as well. Homework.
Yeah, homework. Yes, chat, we take classes too. I will never stop taking classes.
Okay, I might have to like...
How big would Lorraine be next to them? Maybe like that big?
Oh, I think that's cute.
That's a tiny head.
Or Or it could be, what if it's the same height as the dwarf?
Maybe a little bit smaller than the dwarf.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a little bit smaller. It's like maybe like that.
Maybe that?
Yeah, I think like that. Boop, boop. Boop. Like that.
Tomorrow we are not streaming.
No.
But Friday we are.
Yep.
And I have no idea. Haven't thought about it.
Haven't thought about what to do? Well, we were discussing like maybe doing kind of more of a goofier stream, like drawing goofy cats, or like streaming like Roblox speed draw.
We wanted to do a
something kind of fun. Show the goofy cat drawings.
I don't have it.
She is tiny. She's not really meant to be super tall. At least I never really thought that she would be tall.
No, she's 12.
She's 12. She's a 12-year-old kid.
Maybe her weakness is her friend, the person.
Ooh.
It's not a bad idea.
Ooh. So this is the afternoon tea stuff. I don't know what the design is going to be yet, but I just want to draw that in here. Got some overlaps with the teacup. Like that. It's hard to make a traditionally attractive character when you want to try to make them different as well. It is quite difficult. But I like the slick back hair look, so I'm going to try to do that one.
Bye-bye, fish.
Bye, fish.
Can you hear us fine? Do you hear that music in the background? Little bit.
Little bit.
No? Yes?
Slay says always stay until the end.
Yeah.
Is it like really loud?
How loud is it? Pretty quiet? Tiny bit. I want to listen to my synthwave. I've had enough of tea time
Lo-fi.
Animal Crossing Lo-Fi Cafe for streams for a while.
Yeah. His body's going to be a little bit difficult to draw because he's going to be very elongated. But I'm going to make him a little bit bigger.
How's everybody doing? Anybody made any cool OCs lately?
Let me look up what Butler wears.
Yes. Yep. Nice. We haven't come up with any new OCs in a while. IDK how to make an OC, so no. OCs are pretty easy to make. You just go, there's a character that I just made, and yep, now you have an OC.
Yeah.
You can decide what they look like. You can then change their look. You can do anything you want with it. It's up to you. He's giving me, I wanted to be on the cover of Vogue, but my legs were too long.
That's funny.
Do you guys go live at this time every day? I feel like I've been seeing you every day. No, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
So almost every day.
Can't wait for a new iPad next week. Awesome. No more phone finger drawing.
Very lanky arms. I'm thinking flared sleeves. Ruffles? Maybe not.
You know what a Luna moth looks like.
Yes, those are very pretty.
Made an OC, lore in my head, side character, gave them lore, killed some, made a Spotify playlist. Yep.
It's funny. I think Ruffles would be kind of cute. Give him a little bit of cuteness for Lorraine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want just a standard necktie like this. I want it to be a little bit fancier. Tails, coat tails. Unfortunately, I can't draw the legs, but I'll just draw them like little sticks like this. This is just variation 1 anyway, so we'll probably refine it later.
I've taken, what, like an hour of sketching.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a bird.
Refreshing the story for my webcomic, finally releasing my OCs from the Shadow Realm.
Nice. I feel like it'd be cute to give him like little tufts like that, because it makes him look like a cockatiel or something. But maybe not. Maybe that's a bit too whimsical. What do you think, Colton?
Probably not.
Okay.
He's groomed.
He's groomed. Right. There's a monocle.
It is cute. But there's also restraint in design.
Yes.
If you go with every cute idea, the design falls apart.
Yeah. Kind of does.
Wanderer OC, faceless, and he travels the universe with no goals. That's fun.
That's cool. Does he end up creating a goal later? Like finding one? I wonder. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. There we go. 2 extra characters.
Is that it for now?
I think so.
Alright. I gotta do homework as well.
Yeah, Colton's got a lot of
I
drawings
might hang out
to
in
do.
the Discord server, do homework, stuff like that. So
Ginger
maybe we'll
cheese
call
black
it there.
hair. Yeah. I was thinking he would be like Ginger.
Could
with
be.
some gray hair, and he would be black hair. I think that'd be cute. Instead of a face, he has a star. A star?
You're talking about some
Oh,
character
okay.
of theirs,
That's
I think.
cool. They look
That's
very
fun.
distinguished. Yes, Kayla, they sure do.
Yeah.
Opposites attract.
Yas, yas. So there it is.
I'm trying to sound a bit sassier for Kayla now. I need to practice my
There's
sass.
Lorraine. Her values need to be worked on.
They really do. They're really dark.
It's a good sketch, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice ideation. Well, and that's what it looks like with, to most people.
This floating skulls.
And then that's what it looks like to them.
Yep. I'm glad that you guys thought that this was fun. We did a little bit more of a design lecture today.
Sketch? Yes. Like an hour sketch.
Aw, you're welcome. Yes.
TY for teaching us today. You're welcome.
Colton wins, but Christina's is my fave. Aw, thank you.
This has been fun. Yeah, we'll be going live on Friday.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the weekly and monthly challenges as well.
Yes. And I'm so excited to see them because, I mean, we got a lot of submissions, so, and really fun topics to cover.
A lot of fun, different stuff. Yeah, it's already over. Funny enough, when we started streaming, we never really wanted to do more than like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes we'll have shorter streams every now and then.
Go ahead and hurry up and reach 25K, and then you'll get head pats.
Yeah.
So hit the like on the stream a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah, they only have like 1,000 left to go.
Do you
Y'all
go
can do
over them on live? The
Challenge art?
The challenge art? Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Saturday streams.
Please look up Luna Moth. I want to show you.
She knows what a Luna Moth looks like.
It is very cute. I've seen it before.
It's very cute.
It's very... If I ever saw one in real life, I'd probably still be scared.
Alright,
but...
you hit 25K, head pats.
Alright, y'all. Got some little head pats in here for you. Good job. Good job, chat.
Pat. Good job.
Rub, 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 rub.
Yippee. You want to see
Aggressively rubs.
You want to see the homework that we've been working on?
Oh yeah, Colton, show the thing. Or should I show it on my iPad?
I can show it on mine. I have it right here.
Sure.
Uh-huh. This is my homework. There you go.
Very nice.
Costume figure drawing. We have to do 10 of these. Babies.
Babies.
I
Funny.
like this
I
one.
like that one too a lot. I like the folds that you did on this one right here.
Do you?
Right here. I like that. Looks very satisfying.
Yeah, clothing and people in folds is not really my strong point, but working hard at it to get better.
Yes.
You did a bunch, right? You have them?
No. Not immediately. I'll show them sometime.
Then you can just see a picture of Miko and June.
Yep. What was that you were doing on call earlier? That was homework.
Yeah, that was what I was doing. I was doing this one right here on call earlier. That one. It's my 5th one. I got 5 more to do today. So I'll be doing that for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there you go. Don't put off your studies, chat.
Keep practicing.
If you want to get big and strong at art like Christina.
Oh, brother. More like Colton. Alright, guys. Have a good night.
Yep.
A good day.
Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Chilling, hanging out.
Yeah, this was nice.
It was fun, and we'll see you on... I'll be yawning.
We'll see you on Friday.
We'll
have
see
to
you
think
on Friday.
about what to do. Hopefully it'll be a fun one. But anyways, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Good night. I don't know how to